Okay, I'll get started. Obviously, one heck of a football game. You have to credit Virginia Tech, Coach Fuente, their staff. We knew it was going to be a tough, hard-fought game, and it certainly was. I'm so proud of our coaching staff and our players to once again find a way to win, and that kind of personifies our year. You know, just there's ups, there's downs, there's good and bad, but keep on fighting through it, grinding through it, finding a way. I love this football team, our players, their fight and their determination, and once again, just greatly appreciate our staff for what they've done. Our families, my wife, my boys, all of our families sacrificed a great deal throughout the year, and really came here and just wanted to finish this thing right, finish this season right, and that's kind of poetic the way it happened that way. To just feel fortunate to win the game, but also very proud of our players to find a way. So I'll open it up for questions.
Was the call?
Go ahead.
Was the call on the final play to go to the air?
Yes.
Any reason why to deviate from keeping it on the ground like that?
We had one timeout. So one thing about throwing it, it gives Lynn the opportunity to scramble. With no timeouts left, that would be tough. We were thinking about running it before Virginia Tech took the timeout, but I didn't want to because I didn't want to take that option from him to be able to create a pass game, but create the play. With no, if we would have taken if we'd have run it there and not gotten in and taken the last timeout, that kind of takes some of that out of his hands for the next couple plays. So I wanted to throw it right there. Had all the faith in the world he was going to complete the
Yes, sir.
Front row. Mark, what was it like on the sidelines on that final drive where you're bouncing, the clock's ticking, you're not getting chunk plays, but you're moving it down the field, and you're bouncing your timeouts with time and score? What was it like?
Honestly, John, when we took the ball over, I want to say 7:30 or 8:30, something like that, right?
8:25.
8:25. Yeah, I thought it was 8:30. And really, in my mind, I was thinking of an 8-minute drive. I really was. Sure, I would take it a chunk play, but we're not built that way. But we're also built very difficult to stop in 4 downs. When he's creating like he is, and when you have the quarterback run game, if you have 4 downs and stay ahead of the chains, then we're hard to stop. And so I was thinking a long drive there. We had a shot, early. We were thinking about a shot play, but again, I had confidence that we could drive it down and get it in there, and in the process, kill the clock.
The touchdown also big, but that first catch that Josh had in the drive.
Pardon me?
The first catch Josh had in that final drive on the 4th down play.
Oh yeah, the 4th down play, just a huge play. Again, Lynn creating and buying a little time and making a tough catch. I mean, that was obviously a huge play.
Second row aisle. Mark, Lynn's basically done everything this year except win a game with his arm. What did it say about him that last play of his college career to continue to do something that nobody expects of him?
Doesn't surprise me. Really, just nothing he does surprises me. It just everything he does, he competes. He cares about his teammates, and you can't ever count him out. And just so proud of him and how far he's come. And if he would have played like that, if we'd have started him at quarterback, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt in my mind he would be in New York at the Heisman. You can't take away from Joey and people who won and the people that were there, incredible players. But this guy right here is one of the best players in the country. He showed that, and of course he won the prestigious award to Paul Horning, so deserving for his versatility, and that was on full display. He and I have been talking for years about him playing defensive back. He's been ready to go in there. He was even ready today.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. He can do a lot of things, but he really is one of the best players. And I mean that with great respect for all the people that were there. It's just what he's done, and that's what I've talked about. When you're putting the ball in his hands every play, he loves that because the game is running through him. It's running through him on every play, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, that was one of the most impressive displays I've seen in a long time. You know what he did and the way he puts his team on his back and plays for him. It's amazing. It's very admirable, and we have great appreciation for him.
Your defense struggled to get stops early on,
Yeah.
but after a couple turnovers, you forced field goals. What changed when our backs were
Yeah, it was tough. I had a chance to visit with Justin a little bit just after all the commotion in the hallway there, and that's what I told him. We were off balance. I think that's a credit to them. He's a very good coach, and you know, they kept some good balance on us today, and it was one of the more aggravating games of the year for us, and you have to credit them. You know, they did some good things and kept us off balance. You know, our guys, you know, found some stops, and Brad and, you know, the coaches do a great job always, and our players dug in and found some opportunities, found some stops, but they did a nice job keeping us off balance.
To a right coach.
Mark, what's it say about the culture of, I guess, physicality you built that on that last drive, a very good defense, Virginia Tech, 8, 9, 10 in the box,
Yeah.
and they couldn't stop you from running?
Well, you know, it's. I think, you know, we all know what we're going to do. Everybody in the stadium knew what we're going to do. However, there are some creative advantages when you have a guy like Lynn playing quarterback, and you know, it does put a lot of pressure on defenses. You know, you feel like, you know, you have to defend 12 guys, and with him, the way he makes people miss, it's like defend, you know, 13. You know, really. I mean, because with the quarterback and the ability to throw it and just create like he doesn't make people miss, it puts a lot of pressure on defenses.
Mark, what was your vantage point of the incident before the game, and what conversations did you have with the officiating crew about any ramifications or whatever?
There was very little discussions with the officiating officials, you know, other than let's get a hold of this, you know, from the start and make sure we didn't carry that over to game time. And we talked to our players, and they did a good job. We were amped up a little bit early and shot ourselves in the foot with some penalties, and we can't do that. We were lucky to overcome that. They gave us a break with a penalty as well that extended a drive that led to our first score, if I'm not mistaken. We did the same thing. So, you know, let's just leave it at when you're down here for a week, and you know, there's some things, there's some crossover, and things happen. And these guys are competitive, but we do respect Coach Fuente and their program. You know, we wanted to you know, do the talking on the field today, and we were fortunate to come out on top. But that doesn't surprise me with our guys' competitive nature. So I don't want to get too far into it. Things happen throughout the week, and that just happens. There's not a bowl game, you know, that I've been to that doesn't happen every now and then. You know, but we greatly appreciate this bowl, and the leadership from this bowl, and our experience here has been wonderful. And we thank everybody involved.
Second row left.
Coach, recognizing that this is Lynn's last game and all the things that he's been able to do as a Kentucky Wildcat, how hard is it going to be to replace a guy like that next year?
Well, I don't know if you can replace a guy like this. You really can't. You have to build you know, get a bunch of good players around him and continue to develop the program. But, you know, the legacy that he leaves and the example that he set for all these young guys, you know, that's what we need to hang on to. I'm not sure you could get another guy like this. I don't know how long we've been playing football at Kentucky, a long time, but he's certainly one of the best that's ever played at the university. And this performance tonight to go out this way, you know, it just is amazing. It just says an awful lot for him, and I'm just so happy for Lynn and all of our players and coaches.
To your left, Coach.
Mark, Josh Allen, Benny Snell left legacies. What exactly is Lynn's legacy to the program?
Can we borrow the name Beast Mode from? You know, I don't know what we'll have to create one for him, but you know, I just think you just see his competitive nature on full display every snap. You know, Lynn is one tough guy, and you know, on the field, off the field, you name it, he's tough. He's had you know, circumstances in his life that he's had to overcome. He's done that, and we're just very proud of him. But just unbelievable, ultra competitive. The way he plays, it's just great respect.
Second row.
The kind of drives you all had today, those are the kind of things that used to happen with regularity against
The what?
Kentucky. The winning drive, those kind of just, you know, getting ground out, those are the kind of things that used to happen in Kentucky before, you know, you guys got here. How do you build that mentality to where you don't put yourselves in a position to feel like that's, you know, it's just inevitable?
Well, I don't know. I'm trying to gather myself there, but I'm having a hard time understanding your question. But you know, for us, you know, to make that drive at the end, to score, to win, you know, I'm proud of that. I'm proud of our players to know that you know, we can grind it out, and needed to go score a touchdown to win the game, and we were able to do that. You know, against the quality team, great defensive coordinator that I have a lot of respect for, great program, and to do that and to, you know, to win in that dramatic fashion, you know, it says a lot about our players and how far we have come.
Last question for Coach.
Mark, what does it say about Josh Ali in particular, about your receivers in general, that given the role they've had to fill for most of the year, and when they got their opportunity in that last drive, they still made those key catches?
Yeah, just again, it doesn't surprise me. Lynn's done a great job with them. They have respect for Lynn and know that we have to do what we have to do to win the game. And I noticed it even throughout this game, you know, about, hey, just keep on hanging in there, keep on hanging in there. You don't know when they're going to have to go up and make a competitive catch, a 50-50 ball or whatever, and just do it. And, you know, they did it. And, you know, it's what Ahmad just, you know, he and I just shared a hug in there. He's like, I love you, Coach. I love our experience. And I said, man, I'm sorry I couldn't get you the ball. He said, Coach, I don't care. You know what I mean? And that's, you know, you got to love that and have great appreciation for all those guys.
Okay, Coach, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Lynn, come on up here with